Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. We just dropped a video on the 5 candidates for Knife of the Year, and we announced that LT Wright knives with their Illuminous 5 was the 2022 Backwoods Biker Knife of the Year. Hang tight, I want to talk about that in just a second. All right, guys, welcome back. Our relationship with LT Wright goes back to about 2018, maybe 2017. It had to be 2017. He was a part of our gear review expeditions that year. It was a big project, and he submitted the Genesis Scandi. That was our introduction to LT Wright knives, and it's built on the Kephart platform, a beautiful little knife. And I've always said, you know, you don't need a big Rambo hog leg to be successful out in the bush, especially if you're a bushcrafter. You know, this knife does it all, from bushcrafting to game processing, whatever you want to do with this knife. It was a great knife, and it was such an impressive knife. I've held on to this guy right here, and then a couple, and this was the Knife of the Year back then. And then a couple years later, we got together again with LT, and he sent us this GNS Saber, which is a really handy dandy, beautiful little knife. And then in 2022, we had so many people asking us about bigger knives, and we thought, you know, we would cap it at 5, maybe 5.5 inches, something like that. And the Illuminous 5 showed up on our doorstep after I spoke to LT. You know, I've always shied away from these big knives, but if I'm being honest with you, as I carried this knife throughout 2022, my paradigm on larger knives began to shift because of this guy. He is bigger, you know, I mean, when you put it side by side, you know, you compare these two knives here, you can see how much bigger the Illuminous is compared to the Genesis, you know. And this was my favorite size here. It's been like that for many, many years. But this changed my paradigm on that. And, you know, my thinking has shifted a lot. And then this summer, I'm kind of reluctant to put this in right now, but I'll mention it to you. And another thing that helped me to shift my idea on the bigger knives is I was at the Midwest Woodcraft 2022 gathering down in Forest City, Illinois, and Larry Roberts from Alone Season 2 was there, and on his side he had the LT Wright Gen 6 signature, Larry Roberts signature version. And looking over that knife, you know, what has really persuaded me to stay away from bigger knives is, you know, the bigger the knife, the heavier they are, the bigger they are, the bulkier they are, and you begin to limit what you are able to do with those bigger knives. And, you know, I'll use this term, it's wore out back in the day. You know, we're talking 60s and 70s. Most knife makers stayed away from the bigger knives because it required them to use heavier steel, thicker steel, because sometimes when they would go to quench them during the heat treat process, you know, they would get a little snake in them. Looked like you threw a garter snake on a hot blacktop. And over the years, steel has changed, techniques have changed, you know, the master's mindset has changed, and now you're seeing thicker steel, bigger knives with thinner steel. And the Larry Roberts signature version of that Gen 6 is proof that you can build a bigger knife that doesn't have to be all that thick. And this year in 2023, we have only 2 categories that we're going to be dealing with this year as far as doing real intensive reviews and articles on. And that's going to be knives that fall within the 5 to 7 inch category. This helped us to change our mind on that because we wouldn't do it before. And the other one is going to be tactical knives. We've never done just a series on reviewing tactical knives, but we have hundreds and hundreds of mails throughout the year from former and current military operators, that are out there that want us to review some tactical knives, first responders, government agencies. The emails come from all over, and I don't know if LT has anything out there that he says is strictly a tactical knife. I don't think so. But what we are going to do, we're going to get our hands on one of the Gen 6 Larry Roberts signature versions, and we're going to be using that throughout the year, because of what I saw and because of what we have seen in the past from LT. So I wanted to say congratulations to you, LT, personally. Your wife, who is a sweetheart to me on the phone every time that I call up there, very, very polite. And of course, to your entire crew. I know that you would be the first to say without them, you would be a ship without a sail. And I've never met anybody from your crew personally, but I can tell that your passion and everything about you as an individual that I've learned from, your character, your spirituality, and your deep concern for what is right and what is wrong, what we've talked about in the past, impresses me. And so, if you happen to be watching this video and you're on the fence about buying something from LT, or you're on the hunt for a very high quality knife at a very, very fair price, look no further than LT Wright Knives. Impeccable company. They stand behind their product, and I guarantee you, if you got a problem, you call on the phone, they're gonna answer the bell for you without a problem. So, I appreciate your friendship, Larry, or Larry, LT. I was thinking about Larry Roberts. LT, I appreciate your friendship and all your collaboration efforts with us, and the way you've treated us as an individual. I've always been impressed with you since we met on the telephone. So thanks again. Congratulations again. And until we are able to see each other face to face, and I understand you're going to be showing up someplace that I happen to have on my schedule to show up also. And so we'll be meeting face to face then. So until that time, God bless you all. Keep up the fine work, and for everybody else, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you stay safe out there.